any chance that either of these teams are going to be at a 2-0, but look, I'll always present an exciting end to the best of three. Let's wait and see exactly how it pans out. Spirit starting things off on their map pick of Overpass. We're seeing a pretty aggressive approach out for the city side to contest this early long control, while for Team Spirit, looks like it's a bit of a lean in towards the B side.
One player lurking out towards mid-control. Dexter making some noise. Tizian is going to hear that, and he's going to wait back and try and hold for contact. Dexter leaning up to the mid-control into the bathrooms now. And again, just trying to draw the CTs away from the B side, which is where the execution looks set to come through. Only a smoke and a molly for Chopper, so they're going to probably blind off one access to one cross to the site. Molotov, the Coffin's position. Coffin's? Toxic, I should say. Wow. My calls are all over the place today, Twig. But no, they do back off in the end, actually. They were so definitively set towards, hard set towards the B side play, but maybe taking information control out towards mid may draw their attention elsewhere. Tizian caught off guard as the first frag of the round goes the way of Chopper.
A good start out from the T side, but they have run this clock very low. Now, one thing we do know time and time again from Spirit, being that CIS team that they are, they do like to really run down the clock, wait for a lot of slow executions and slow passive styles on this T side of Overpass. I still got another couple of players to deal with at this bomb site over at A. Bit of a missmoke actually comes down for the city side, looking to re-smoke off from a monster. Bait and switch setup coming out from Quito as he taps onto Mir and gets the advantage back. Tabson behind the dice position, can't quite stay alive for long enough. Quito trying to fall back, but the swing continues from Spirit.
Back and forth trades that eventually favor the T side. Magic's getting himself several kills. Chopper comes in with the final frag of the round. And it will be Spirit to open up the game here against Big. Very nice rotations coming into the right moments and numbers games catching off those opening frags. And what was going to be a B-site execution has turned into an A-site play that, again, still worked for the Spirit side. Overwhelming Big with the firepower, opening things up, and now the Deagles are about to play.
One thing that you got to remember going into a best of three against Big and Spirit is that the in-game leaders are both Chopper and Tabson are typically high fragging in-game leaders, so watch out for them starting to get involved in the kill counts. And wait to see, once we get those AWPs forward for both Sirison and Dexter. We saw that Spirit, certainly in DreamHack Open January, a lot of that rotating roster, right, depending on the map. We saw Patsy being thrown in and out, even saw an Overpass. Now I remember back in that event, we saw the in-game leader of Chopper actually being subbed out.
He's in play for this one. No damage done early to him. Spirit taking damage to Dexter instead. That bomb out in the open might be contested by Big by virtue of the damage that they've done. That smoke down towards Monster should allow Dexter to swing back and pick it up. A minute to the clock on the CT side. Set on the defensive, 3 players. A 4th man going to go ahead and join them back here at Water. Spirit are taking their sweet time with this default.
Yeah, nothing really too aggressive here from Big, outside of really just their gamble stack approach towards B. The Sirison hasn't seen any information. Tabson jump spotting out from Heaven hasn't seen anything from Con either. So real lack of information here from Big on exactly what the play is. They still got that emphasis over towards the B site. And not a massive amount of utility left for the T side either, considering that they didn't buy down into too many SMGs. Well, now some aggression coming through from Shortwater pretty much gives the info up that it's got to be an A play, right?
Sirson in, sees one, couldn't focus fire to the headshot, and immediately the CTs opt to back up and save the weapons here. The bomb plant can be secured, nice and easy. Big might reposition to grab that AK. Tabson could just grab that and again just look to save it into the next round. There won't be a major buy around the AK, so what's the call here, Big? What's the plan? I want to push forward, actually. Do get a kill back on Dexter. That's a good way in. 4v3 now for Big. Are they going to continue going for the retake? Well, as Quito and Tabson gets shut back down, and Tizian falls quickly. So you can get an exit frag. Not quite able to finish the job on Sunday Young. So 2-0 to the Spirit start. Big overwhelmed. All players falling without any saved force-bought weapons. So this will be a full eco.
A lot of youngsters as well coming through for this Spirit side. You've got, what, Magic's at 17, Patsy's at 17, Dexter's 19, so certainly the veteran players, more so of Chopper and SDY, have got to be sort of the, almost not father figures, but, you know, people to sort of give him that experience going forward. And so far on this T side, it's been very successful for them. Big. Looked like for a moment there that they were going to just try not to go for the save rather than the retake, trying to go in for it very late, but I didn't quite find those connections, so they're going to just be forced back on a very light eco. Spirit looking to try and get a 3-0 start.
Tizian does frag back, so they are going to show some sort of trade back here on the CT caps. Drop up, goes to CSN next. 10 in for Dexter, finds one, not quite two actually. Keto still holding some fight. Other two players out here towards short. Mid takes a tag. Keto's getting dangerously close to finding some serious damage, but in the end is overwhelmed by the rifles. Seems like the main three weapons will stay in play from Spirit side. Bomb plant down at default, Tabson cleaned up by Chopper. And there you go, there's the 304 Spirit now up to the rifles for Big, their first gun round of the series. Orp in for CSN immediately, and the M4s across the rest of the CT board.
A chance for Big to now start getting a little bit involved and get those AWPs out straight away, get them fired up. No kits though on the city side, something that we have seen be a bit of a common occurrence, I want to say, over the course of this day, Jay, is a lot of the city sides investing into more utility than going for the kits in the opening gun round. A bit of early util comes through to the short position by the T side to not allow any kind of fast play. Team Spirit. What's the approach here? I mean, just looking like they want to try and see if they can sandwich in some of this short water control, maybe see if they can open up connector, but they've got to try and force the fire into Tabson. Ooh.
Man, fights on Tizian instead. The kill comes through. Magic's can trade it back, so a 4 versus 4 gained. Drive-bys only so successful here for Spirit. At least they find the 1-for-1s. Magic's guy slates Keto as well. Takes him down out towards a quick peek in from short control. 2K to his name. And again, Spirit gaining the man advantage thanks to individual prowess.
Yeah, very, very dry, isn't it, so far from Spirit? Magic's just slow walking into short. What an opening kill. What a fantastic start for him. Couple of kills already. And now for Big, you're almost expecting a little bit more of an aggressive approach just to try and see if they can fight back the advantage, try and even it up at 3-3. Rotate Sirison back towards the A side, just leaves Antares and Tabson to try and defend B. Spirit, it's been so silent now.
Some rumblings of movement out towards the top mid positions, but have to get real loud real quick to get in towards the A play. And Molotovs and smokes down for Magic is going to draw their attention towards a B site XE, but only those 2 pieces of utility does not draw the third CT player away. Searson with the AWP on site could be the only weapon that shuts this down from the Spirit's camp. Takes that face of Magic, takes him down.
Ooh.
Second shot on shot to connect perfectly, but not quite against Dexter. 2-on-2, Spirit hold the trades to get the site control.
Oh, what an important kill. That bomb gets dropped. That round is done. What a hold coming out from the AWP towards Truck, but unfortunately, Sirison just can't hold on for long enough. Backstab coming in, and now Dexter's left to try and clutch 1 versus 2. Now, he knows there's a player in the backlines, and he's seen the player out from Truck, but taps it on the swing when the scope comes in. The first round going the way of Big. Really nice defensive hold there from Sirison. He set up that retake for success.
That he did. So well done from him. It's a bit of a shame, honestly, that Dexter couldn't clutch that one. I mean, it just came down to timing there. He unscoped at the wrong moment, switched out his weapon, and that was when the CT player swung from Truck. But yeah, Searson's defensive, as you mentioned, really to highlight there. Almost got a 3K. It could have looked like a much more confident round if he hit this shot here.
Yeah.
But again, up against Dexter, that's a very difficult one to challenge onto him by virtue of name alone. First to the board, a Big rifle rounds 1, and the double orbs come out immediately for the CT side.
Yeah, get them out. We saw a little bit of double AWPing in the best of 1, not a massive amount from Big, so... And try and see if they can have a bit of a different angle on the approach now towards Oveprass. Going quite aggressive from Tabson up towards the fountain position, not quite seeing any pressure coming through. It's going to be a slow walk out from Monster.
Magic's seen there, slowed down, body block, headshot angle given up by Tizian. That's going to be a kill. Zantaris trades it back very quickly. So 4-on-4, Mir caught off by the flashbangs coming through. Smokes on, blinds off Keto, forces him towards water. Good utility usage from the Spirit side. They're not ready for the AWP towards short. Gets a kill on 1, leg shot to the second. USP will finish off Mir, and that's a 4v2 now, gained by Big. Bomb dropped outside of Monster, can get picked up by the Spirit side, but it's a 2-man advantage for the opposition.
Yeah, those were some massive signs of hesitation from Spirit. After that initial trade comes out from Magix, who's already cleared out the toxic position, they just decide to fall back instead. And then Sirison is just ready for them to fall back out from Monster, and he's there with the AWP, lands a great shot, lands a tag, even the USP finds that secondary. And now Chopper and SDY have to try and bring back a 2v4. Things look decent from the initial pump.
30 seconds remaining. Spirit going for that second face. Only a flashbang in for Some Die Young is the only piece of utility they've got. Uses it to get out towards water, but Keto shuts down Chopper at short, so SDY, AK standing by. Fights on towards one, wins it. And he taps to the second, okay. That's an opportunity available towards him. 10 seconds, I'm going to get that one in real quick. Sees the player at water, but couldn't get the spray together. Zentaris at 12 points of health. Damn near dropped to a 1-on-4 clutch from Some Die Young.
And look, Spirit taking a bit of a tactical to just realize, you know, sort of what just happened there. It looked like from the get-go that it was just going to be a walk into B, and while they found that initial trade, they just ended up backing off. SDY ended up doing a lot of damage at the end of that round to try and bring it back, but it just wasn't enough. Really great peek in from Sirius, and that's a lot of confidence to peek right back in. SDY just trying to do as much damage as possible. Great crosshair placement onto both Tabs and Akito.
Good shooting again, Spirit. Do some damage to the big side, take as many rifles away as possible. Set themselves up for a reset round when the rifles come out. Especially if they can use these deagles they have on 3 players to do even more damage. I mean, any number of casualties from Spirit is going to be pretty huge for them so far. The Eagle set up for Magic's moving forward. Another walk out towards the B bomb site, sees the head of the first and takes Tizian down. Does tank an aid to the face, but that's a kill found for Spirit. Big can't respond in kind.
Oh, that's a big start. That is a really nice kill onto Tizian. But yeah, you're right about the damage. Those nades coming into the monster position have almost sort of brought the advantage back. And, well, there's not a lot of investment in this round, is there? There's pretty much just Glocks out. You've got 3 Deagles across the board from Spirit. If they can win this, I'll be incredibly surprised. They're probably just trying to see if they can do some damage. I mean, Oveprass is one of those maps that even on an eco, it can be quite difficult to get a post plant in. But let's just see what they can do with it. See if they can bait out more utility from the city side. I mean, if Keto starts pressing forward from Monster, they're going to have the idea pretty much straight away that it's not a B play.
It's not going to, though. Just going to hold Monster from the CT angles, and Chopper once again look to try and make some noise out here on the short control, bait in some rotations of the CT forces. Smokes will go down from CS to try back up that Monster position. Re-smoke the one that was put down a moment ago. The focus is going to be on long. Searson sees one. Did he catch the bomb? Does he know of any of the other Spirit players? Right back in towards the bathrooms. Tabs and Shorty should hear this. Take down that one frag. Damage under the second. It's actually Searson that lines up a Calaro out towards long, so bomb gets dropped. And all the pistols get cleaned up here. Searson with 3 kills and Big with a 3rd round.
All right, well, they've tied up the scoreline now, Big. Starting to get a bit more involved in Oveprass, and we've got to expect from Spirit, right, what more do they sort of have left in them in terms of a quicker approach? We've seen some very passive T-sides round from them. We've seen a couple of slow walks out from Monster. Haven't really seen the quicker hits just come in. I mean, even look at the buy. Like, there's no potential for an AWP. The utility is incredibly low. Big, if they're able to convert this 7th round and start getting a bit of a lead going, this could be the dominance they need as Sirison peeks in towards Underpass, straight onto Chopper with a nade out. A great opening find up for the Germans.
The frag found so easy there. Here next up, sees a swing and a hit, takes out Keto to a 4 versus 4 player over at the toxic barrels, also falls. Here adjusting against Zentaris, makes it a triple. Quadrum is tapped to break the entire B-side defense. He kind of needs to. Some Die Young needs to grab that bomb. Headshot tap to Searson. And Mir popping off in round 7. Up for 5 frags, a full-blown ace shut back down by Tabson, but now Some Die Young can adjust against him, can rotate towards the ace side, or just bait him into rotate of his own accord and get the B site plant.
Yeah, this all comes down to mind games. Does Tabson expect that he's actually brought that bomb back up to A? Does he expect that he starts to slow it down? SDY starting to even clear out some of these angles now. They would have had that information that Tabson was over towards right side graffiti. As soon as that smoke goes down to B, that's going to draw Tabson's attention back. And SDY, what a clutch this would be to try and back up what Amir has already been able to do in the round.
Oh, Tabson seeing him though, backed up, tossing away the pistol, I think, to go for a Glock. Just a fake flash, perhaps? I'm not sure. Either way, seen. AK spray does damage. 10 points up for Tabson. One taps all Sundae needs. Doesn't even need to be a headshot. He's backed up towards the monster control. HE and Smoke. Tabson might have to go for the ninja. He's covered off at hard cover, so long as Sundae doesn't extend towards shore, he's basically going to be secured for it. Swing and hit. No, Sundae shuts him down and wins the round for Spirit. But the real credit's got to go towards Mir. And how many times have we seen individual players on the B side here on Oveprass?
He's so insane. He's such a mechanically gifted player. Some of these adjustments were absolutely on point. The tap onto the Heaven player too. Mir doing so much damage out from B. Oh, what a round. What a kill that was on Saracen. And you can see that Tabson was actually trying to throw his pistol down to fake that he dropped from Heaven. And SDY didn't take the bait at all. And still had his crosshairs locked from Heaven. Finally heard him drop and just played out the time. A little bit of util for Tabson to work with in that smoke and HE, but opts not to use it, just try and wide swing onto Monster. And now they're the ones getting reset. I hope we see more things like that from Spirit.
I hope so too. Because if they can, then that means we're going to be in for a very interesting contest. Especially as Big want to respond in kind. Look at that force buy coming through. Orp, M4, Fama, 2 Deagles. Heavy investments out in Searson, expecting the tower stack in from Spirit. Seen very little from Spirit's AWP so far, and there's not one out for this round, so there will not be any sort of boost in play. Very heavy stack to the B site here for Big, though. All 5 players are out of this position, and it's going to work relatively well. Nades on Magix and Chopper, they'll get tagged up early.
It's unorthodox, but look, I mean, maybe if they don't get any more contact, then they start rotating a couple of players back up to A. I wonder when that starts to come in. Or whether, because it is a force buy, they just stay at B and don't rotate at all. If the A bomb site ends up being a post plant, they just save onto their weapons and bring them forward into round 9. Only time will tell. Flash comes in towards Monster, that's going to blind me and try and force him back a little bit, but for Spirit, unless they somehow completely change their offensive, it's looking like it's going to be a long take to an A. No, it's not. The bomb's going back over to B. They're going to be running into the stack, J.
2 players have broken away from it, though. Big suspecting it might be an A presence. Again, the lurk plays coming in from Chopper and co. And Sundae finds Searson, takes him down. Fama of Zentara sees 1 player at the short position, but still Mir isolates that kill. And Tizian with a Deagle is all that remains here to the B-site defense. 30 seconds to hold them all off. Backup is on the way. Deagle out of Tabson does find Chopper here. Again, Tizian to make insert 2 players lined up for the pistol. Drops that bomb, gets only those 2 kills. Trade for Mir can return to a 2-on-2 scenario, but counter backstab's coming in from Tabson. He's so close towards 1 T-side player, and Sundae isolates the kill, but 10 seconds. They've got to act towards the B side. Keto, 2 very low HP Ts to pick up, gets that first. Now needs Sundae to swing, and the flick works well for him. Better than the T side. 4-on-4 now to the scoreline. Big continuing to make this.
Oh, it's too slow again, and it's panicky. It's panicky there from Spirit. They realise, okay, we've already had a flash come into one's Monster. Tizian's peaked with it, gets a great couple of kills. They just don't have time to clear out the bomb site. They start to take the duel onto the connector player. That was a really nice engagement, but there's still Keto out from the barrels, and with the time so low, it's just not going to happen. Both teams going back and forth with the buy status. Spirit are now on a bit of a force themselves.
One round makes the difference between a good buy and a broken investment. Spirit with Tech-9s out, Galil's in for Mir. Smokes on, flash turning Tara, turning away with the M4. Sundae gets those 2 frags and Mir overwhelms. That's textbook Spirit right there. Rush tactic in with pistols on upgrades and no trades back from the CT side. 1 will come through before the bomb gets planted. But Searson's locked out, 10 HP with the SMG. Townsend's best to save the Fama at this stage because they've been completely overwhelmed on the execute.
Oh, the classic CIS force. That is just such a hard hit into B. And look, something we kind of spoke about, right, when we had an interview with Tabson after winning their opening best of 1, and something that we saw was those scrappy rounds in the first half against Movistar Riders, where we had a lot of back and forward force buys. It really wasn't until they started getting their economy going and they started getting a bit of momentum that we saw them break away. We're in a very, very similar standpoint here. Spirit taking back the lead now at 5-4. And for Big, double eco status, they're going to have to force themselves.
How many force buys are we going to see in a row, Dweg?
Hopefully not many. Hopefully it's very minimal. Maybe it's one more, because we know that Big are a strong force by team, but we also know that the CIS teams can be pretty insane when they have the Tech 9s and Deagles and what have you. We saw it in that last round. They just hit B, and how quickly those entries came in. Obviously the utility was a big standpoint. We saw a couple of great flashes over the top, and like they got 3 kills on the anchors in a matter of like less than 5 or 10 seconds. It was so incredibly quick from the initial contact. Big taking their time about things. I'm sure there's a lot to discuss at this point.
You must imagine the basis of this current round, current predicament here between these two sides. And Big, of course, currently on the back foot as a result of it. How are they going to break the wall of attrition? How are they going to get one up above Spirit to force them down to Eco as opposed to forcing another good buyback, another good rush into the B site? Doesn't seem to be coming through right here. A Fama and a Scout for Big. That's about it. See what these upgrades can do in the Deagles for the other players. But it's very passive from the CT side, just stacking up the B site. One player towards mid will try focus fire, but he's going to back off right back to A.
A very similar approach to what we saw in their last force buy at B. Remember, we saw a really heavy gamble stack. We saw that Tizian got flashed in towards Monster to get a couple of peaks. We did see at one point, though, Big start to break away and rotate a couple of players back up to A. And for Spirit, maybe this is the read from Chopper saying, well, last time they stacked B on the force buy, let's have a bit more of an approach to A. And if this does come through, this could just be an instant save. Sirison is the only player here at A. Oh, they're rotating. They're coming.
They've seen nothing, no info. It's all going to be on intuition. Last second gamma rotation. Smoke has gone down towards the long control. I'm not sure who threw that, but either way, here comes Sundai Young. M4 standing by, swings out. Sees 2, can take 1, and that second spray connecting together. Magic's doubles up. Keto gets 1 and 2. Oh, the third shot's great as well. And maybe that might turn things back for Big. One player still towards long, one more incoming from mid. Chopper gets that trade to a 2-on-2. Needs to cross that bomb back to the default plant position. Searson's not going to get a chance. Mir will get tagged. It will be Tizian forced away. Searson dropping up to the AK. Sees one player swinging out, but Chopper gets that kill. So back on Tizian with the Deagle. Can't watch pre-fire angles. Can't land the headshots. And Chopper will take him down with 3 of his own. But Spirit heavily contested by Deagles once again.
Oh, what a hold from Keto. Big's approach in their sort of play is actually just rotate in as quickly as possible, push through the smokes, and he lands a ridiculous 3K. Unfortunately, there's just not enough support for him. He can't follow up onto any more. He already got tagged up on so many of those peaks. And now finally, Jay, the force buys are going to be over. A very light eco's got to come through from Big, a single Deagle upgrade coming through from Keto, but outside of that, it's USBs to everyone's Spirit. I've got the opportunity now of really starting to claw these rounds on the T side.
Big broken once again. The USP is coming through from the CT side. Of course, that force buy had to win it out. They want to maintain economical control. It's a full eco that just gets sprayed up by Dexter. Chopper gets one of his own. And left towards mid to get caught off by Summit. Young. Spirit cleaning up that round very quickly. A minute 21 to the clock. And now the rifles can return from Big. Let's see if they can get some more success on these. But with the way that Spirit have been playing up against full AKs, it's still going to be a task for this team.
Yeah, look, the buy status isn't great here, but we knew that with the back and forth force buys, it was eventually going to have to go someone's way. And for Big, there's not a massive amount to work with. If you've got FAMAS out for Keto, that single kit in place, so at least they do have that. And a little bit of utility too. Maybe a bit of an aggressive approach out from Party from Sirison. He's tried this peak a couple of times with the Scout. And this time going in with the AWP, but it's the HE to do that initial damage. Down to just 66 points of health. No initial swing has come out from the couple of players then through Playground. Very passive from these 2 players of SDY and Dexter.
Mid control established by Tabson. Searson right behind him. but seeing nothing of the T side against Spirit. Look at how passive they are on this map. There's barely any map control whatsoever. They're just in underpass and T-Con. One player expecting some CT aggression to come through from Monster. There will be some CT aggression from Big, but it's nowhere near enough to get punished by Spirit.
Tizian could get certainly overwhelmed, and even Tabson gets caught repositioning. This is a very, very aggressive round from Big on their city side, although it is quite slow. Dexter even dealing with Tizian. Now there's just 3 players left, and Tara is now continuing to peak, and they just keep falling. Spirit are ready for these aggressive approaches, and Big are now just down to a couple of players. Now just make it 1 as Magic domes on Taquito. There is a bit of a trade with the Molly, but now it's just down to the AWP from Sirison, and he's got no hope but just to save.
Yeah, no choice in the matter. Bomb plant for Sumdae. And Spirit will get to 8 on the T side, winning the T side half. We were asking questions about this map coming into this one, you know, our Spirit really sort of like, you know, geared up and ready. I guess probably the fact it was against the Gambit side is definitely one to account for because, well, This is a very good team on this map, it seems. Big. Not standing a great chance at the moment. They've got to really re-gear and try to figure out how they're going to approach this because they have got wins against pretty decent teams as well. You know, the most recent Overpass result was against an NIP side. This AWP back into the bathroom, scored by Mir, tap through, takes him down. And there'll be nothing to work with to try and replicate those results. AWP for free for Spirit and probably an eco for Big.
I think what's so insane, too, from Spirit is I really can't remember an AWP kill from Dexter, and that's just because it's been the riflers that have been so impactful. You have a look at the kill distribution, pretty much everyone is on double digits. You might have Dexter just a little bit behind on 8, but that's something that we see day in, day out from Spirit. It's just that consistency across the board. Yes, you've got some hard hitters, but when they all start coming alive, that's where we really see a lot of success coming in. Big have now lost what is 4 rounds in a row, have not helped their economy at all. They're going to have to eco even a few players buying down quite heavily to get that rifle round out in 14.
Stacking towards B site this time from Big is going to play things out pretty slowly. Once again, Spirit just trying to bait and switch and prod up the sites, trying to figure out who's who and where. 2 players on short going to get seen there. Mir put a nade back there to try and see if they can drive them away. Magic's his first to fall though, so Big getting away with something here with his upgrade pistols. Taps through on Chopper, hoping to do some damage through the wall, but out of position and definitely not going to get taken down.
And they just continue their approach rather than back it off and start to get map territory towards A. They're just going to brute force their way into B, and maybe that's the mistake as Keto continues to do some damage. Him and Xantara's fighting a pick. Mir now starting to try and trade it back, even up the playing field towards 3 and 3. But there's still a lot of CTs at this B. Bomb site, Chopper committing to the spray, and now Xantara's and Tizian are going to be the last ones. Tizian now in a 1 versus 3. Big. Running out of players. Does anyone check the barrel's position? Oh, it does find 1 kill, but that's going to be it. For an eco, I would say that's pretty convincing.
Yeah, not too terrible from Big. You know, 3 players down. The issue is that obviously the damage that Spirit are going to, you know, Spirit are going to maintain is just going to get soaked up here. You can see the buyback and the amount of cash they have even after this next buy-up. So into round 14 and round 15, unfortunately, it doesn't mean much, but it was an eco round for Big. They couldn't have done much about it. Rifle investment coming into this. P90 for Sumdae. I can't remember if Spirit were the ones that trademarked P90. Yeah, I'll come back to that because they're rushing B. And Sumdae's the entry fragger. Straight out the gate, down towards water, and they have absolutely no idea. Xantaras and Tabson ripped apart there as the first kill came in on team so early, and well, that's a 4 versus 2.
Just run into B with a P90, and look, it sets up the trade. Not only does that P90 find the opening kill, it does further damage, allows the trade to come through. Such an aggressive approach over to B, and Sirison is left to save once again. And honestly, Spirit have done a really good job of even not allowing that save to come through. Good shot on Tamir. They'll know where he is. A bit of a difficult position to try and hunt. Double digits, 10 on the board for Spirit. And you know they're feeling it. You know they're confident when they start charging in with P90s. Jiggle peek. Ooh, they might be able to trade out the Oveprass. Sirison try to fall back. Magic started to push through. They've even got alert coming through for the A site. And there it is. Sirison, again, not able to save onto that big green gun.
Now lost investment, of course, big clean up on all 5 players, all 5 investing in and having to force to buy here for round 15. Or powering to be replaced by a scout instead for Sirison. M4s in on 2 Fammers as well for Zentaris and Tizian. And Spirit have brought the full force of Russia straight down upon the big side. Smokes up into the T-Con control to try block off positions. Here is the default setting from Spirit again. Pretty standard stuff on the way things have played out. This time a bit more spread out this time. Mostly focused towards the monster position. And actually, there's a 2-for-1 trade from Keto and Zentaris. Mir and Magic's caught off guard. There's still 1 player back there in Dexter. He's not been given a chance to strike.
Nice approach from Big. They realise that they've kind of had enough of just having bodied rounds, that they're actually going to take the fight to them rather than just staying passive on the site and just getting overwhelmed. A flash comes in towards Monster. Zentaris peeks with it, and, well, Magic's and Mir fall. Spirit now starting to regroup to maybe try and take some bathrooms control. Now, there is a bit of an avenue where the A side's open, right? Sirison is the only player defending A, and he's out from long. SDY, surely if they peek into this sightline, they've got to have a flash or some sort of utility.
Have them in their pouches. Sirison running back with a scout. A site, what's he going to find? 40 seconds remaining, and there's some utility thrown out by the CT forces. And Spirit only just formulating the hit to come through. Chopper entering with the AK. 2 players on the CT side here on this site defense. Zentaris and Tizian will be the ones to rotate the position. But again, Sirison holding this angle that he did so well with the AWP. Chopper trying to isolate a kill back over the bank. Can't see him. Scout shot missed out. Close range round the corner. Chopper with the awkward spray does come through with the kill. The bomb plant can be secured from here.
A 3v3 retake coming in. Zentaris coming very fast up from the top of connector. Flash coming in too, and they even peek into him. It's all now down to Dexter and SDY to try and hold forward. 2 players coming in the back lines, and already an aggressive bank move coming through. Dexter with the AWP does find the connection. That evens him back, and he pushes into the molly. Now SDY is left to try and clutch for the T side. The bomb is planted open for him. If he peeks up from the garbage position, it gets tapped the first time. It's not being stuck. They might try and draw him out to the open, and they peek forward and Tabson gets the trade. They'll be able to get back onto that bomb. Or do they have enough time? They're going to try and get over to the kit, but no, they don't have it. Spirit are going to be able to find their 11th going into the second half. We're going to head to a short break. Don't go anywhere.
Maybe we can change our stripes and colors. You're the only one I see. And I take it all or nothing at all. Driving through the night till I'm at your door. Go outside, stay up all night. And I take it all or nothing at all. Driving through the night till I'm at your door. Go outside, stay up all night. Sleep through the sunrise. Into my past and I count the numbers of the dreams that I left behind. I don't even care now that I've discovered a new kind of peace of mind. Up above us, looking down on us, there's an angel I know. We don't need to worry or discuss much. It's time for me to hit the road. Take it all or nothing at all. Driving through the night till I'm at your door. Go outside, stay up all night, sleep through the up all night. It'll take it all or nothing at all. Driving through the night till I'm at your door. Go outside, stay up all night, sleep through the sunrise.
Well, Spirit have looked dominant against Big thus far here on our first map of Oveprass. We doubted the pick from the Spirit side, but they have come to play, and they have absolutely destroyed on this map up. The odds of GG bet favor them for good reason. Let's see whether they can capitalize and close this one out in a very quick opening map fashion. Got the P250 in for Tabson here on the T-side line, not dropping it off towards the raid boss. He's got a flashbang in for him as well. Double flash and smoke for Tizian on the T-side setup. Chopper with the kit and utility, and it will be early entries in towards the monster control that gets the opening frag on Zataras.
Super aggressive approach coming in for the CT side, but it's out towards A, where SDY is at least trying to hold down for a little bit longer, bring those rotates over. There's already 3 players at this A bomb site, couple of kills coming in already. Mist now trying to chime through, and it's all down to Tabson to try and see if he can bring this back. P250 trying to tap away out from Divider, but it's Dexter in the backlines to find Spirit, their 12th round. And what a start it was. The flash comes over out from Monster, Mir peeks in from short pipe, 2 players peek out from the Monster, and from there, that's where they found the first pick.
That is very confident there from Spirit once again. And that sets us up for the future of this map up here, possibly the closing periods of the half and of the map itself. AUG in 3 SMGs, a FAM up as well for Magic's. Big up on the Deagle buy is nowhere near as much as what they've been able to afford in previous forces. And yes, these Deagles can be deadly, but by comparison, Spirit are in full control here.
Yeah, you've certainly got to think here for Big. They've got to try and get themselves an advantage. We know that they're on a force buy. They didn't quite get a bomb plant in that first pistol round. Tizian anticipating a bit of a boost play to come through from a jump spot. Not quite see anything opening up Condor. A little bit of utility follows, and Dexter starts off into Xantares, but there is a bit of a trade that comes out from Keto.
Burst through Sunday Young, getting Keto and dropping Tabson as well. Bomb out in the bathrooms. 2 kills for $1,200. Smokes back. That's Big. Try and find a new way to work in here, but just that mid control is their only real option here. They might catch one player. The shadow of Sunday Young might actually be seen there. Tizian can get a kill for it, but the sprays continue. 3K for Sunday Young. And CSN left alone with a USP to try to shut him down. Nice quadra in the sequence towards mid control. 13-4 for Team Spirits.
And just, it's so convincing, this map, which is, it kind of taken my breath away a little bit, Jay. When we know that how these series have been between these two sides and head-to-heads, we normally haven't seen one-sided performances. It's been relatively close. We've even had overtimes into the mix, but going out to this first map of Oveprass, it's just been utter domination. We got to a point around, what, round 7, round 8 or so, where it was really scrappy with the back-and-forth force buys, and now this streak is just, it's got out of control.
That it has. And Big. Well, what more can you do to try and counteract it? I guess Tizian's got a good start right there, taking out Mir. SMG back in for Sunday Young, though, still rocking the MP9, still getting so much money out of it. You get the kill back on Tizian, we'll take that SMG away from the T side, take away any automatic potential that they would have had here in this round. And the Eagle close. Molotovs towards Carby. Tizian still giving up his angle, and finally Magix is forced to force the issue. So there you go, man advantage tipping back to the favor of Spirit. Tabson does get Dexter, grab that AWP actually, and they've left the A side completely open, so this is a bomb plant at least.
Yeah, they slow pushed that single smoke out from the end of bathrooms, and Dexter was just holding the other side of it, not thinking that there could have been a push attempt. Now getting that AWP in the hands of Sirius, and he's starting to reposition himself. Retake underway from Spirit.
Shot missed out from the long control. Tabs dig down, still gets a headshot on the second player. Not quite the third. Chopper trades it back to a 2-on-2, but Sirison chimes in, and the defuse is tapped once. No kit for Chopper. Might not have enough time, but is there one drop from his teammates? I don't think so. I think he's going back to save. And there you go, a big eco win for the big side. And they needed that round to stay alive in this one. And Spirit will be unable to gain their 14th just yet.
Yeah, look, that's a really huge round for Big, and one that's going to help them going forward if they want to try and establish a bit of a comeback here in this first map of the series. A Big, as soon as they got the AWP in play, it was just right. Let's just slow it down in the post plant. We see the AWP repositioning from Sirison out from long, starting to group up with his teammate. Great shot from Tabson with the P250 at long range. And Spirit, I wonder how this is going to knock him a little bit, Jay. That was 9 rounds in a row up for the Russian squad. Finally, we see one back over in favor of the Germans. It's a long time coming, that's for sure.
Damage done towards Magix and Tabson. Magix will be the first to fall. Nice start out. Mir following suit on a secondary kill back on Tizian. So 4-on-4, but Zentaris still peeking forward of the monster control. Gets Mir to drop. And a 4-on-3 situation. Molotovs continue to come in. Utility poured out by the T side, looking onto the sight lines. Flashes continue from Spirit, just continuing to keep Big at bay, continuing to drive them back up the monster control. Nades on Chopper will do even more damage. And there comes Dexter with a trade back and a double up on towards Tabson and Zentaris. Spirit suddenly back in full control.
All it took was one play, and now the advantage is back in favor of Spirit. Do they even think that someone's moved back over towards a barrel's position? Well, no, not at all. Sirison just gets wide swung upon from Chopper, and now Keto is left to clutch on the T side. After there were so many advantages to start off from Zentaris and Tabson, Keto is now the last one left to clutch with 3 hungry CTs all around the short water position. Bomb dropped right in front of him, so a chance to pick that up, but what can he do with it? As soon as he tries to fake out that bomb plant, they're just going to all wide swing together. Try and give himself a little bit of a headshot angle. That's the first pick, but then the initial trade comes back from Dexter with the rifle. The M4 stepping up for 3 kills, and he even grants himself an AWP and an AK.
But most importantly, it shuts down Big's economy state. Yes, they can buy. Yes, Citizens on 6 grand, but everybody else 3.5k or lower. The AWP will come through. 2 Galils out. A D Galil on Keto, a 3rd Galil joined by Zentaris. And with 2 rounds to go for Spirit, this is not the kind of buy you want to see from Big here. Stacked up towards the 4-man boost. The AWP for Citizens is going to try to get an opening frag here, but not seeing anything of the CT forces. No, he does get Magix, excuse me. That's a frag to open things up.
Yeah, boost coming through. It seems like he was playing out from heaven. That AWP on the boost connecting to a great start. With the rounds where Big don't really have a lot, right? You've got Deagle on for Keto. Now Galil's up for everyone. SDY so aggressive out from the bottom of Connector. Only gets that 1 pick. Missed AWP shot from Sirison to find the trade for the advantage. And Zentaris might just get smoked off from Monster to deny his vision. And even Mir's now starting to go quite aggro, but he's been seen.
Zentaris has given away his angle though, so Mir can either choose to aggress or fall right back, and he'll aggress to his detriment. Kill found. Chopper trades back on the SMG, 2-on-2, moving back towards the B site as Tabson moves in, catches his man off guard, takes him down. Dexter stands alone. AWP on rotate towards heaven. Deagle out, trying to go for a wallbang shot perhaps. AWP sees his one, but no, Tabson trades it back.
Big just trying to have a little bit of a survival here. See how many more rounds they can put up on this T side until eventually Spirit get over the board to 16. I mean, look, they've done it on a round where they really didn't have a lot of economy behind them, so you've got to think for Big. Like, to be able to actually come back and bring this to overtime or a map win, it's an unrealistic goal. At least if they can get to double digits, they can try and keep this first map competitive in the series and have a bit of a positive outlook going into that second map of Mirage.
Scouts set in for one player on Dexter. Orp, of course, CSM watching downrange, hoping to catch someone off guard towards Monster. For Spirit, they are stacked heavily into the B site. Molotovs will try driving them out of position towards the jungle and the toxic area. Magic's Mir, Sunday Young taking damage. So is Xantares and Tabson, and Xantares is first to fall. First up, but so many players to deal with. That's another kill found. Chopper falls back in trade, and look at the HP numbers for the Spirit side. Finally, the cleanup can come through from the AKs as Tizian makes it a quadra, and Dexter is left standing alone. Sprays through the wall, can't quite get in, but either way, they maintain control of this one. For a moment, you thought Spirit were going to eco big again.
There were so many players in water, and you just saw the swing come out, and the amount of CTs were there. They don't quite capitalize on the early advantage of a 5-on-3, and I suppose it comes down to how tagged up they were. A couple of really good engagements start coming through from Big as they've got the confidence to just keep swinging and keep fighting, giving themselves the advantage back. Dexter tries to come in with that scout to clean up the rounds, but it's going to be Big to get 7. And now a very light eco comes through from Spirit. They've got a flash for Chopper, a Zeus for SDY, and that's about it.
Not much of Spirit in this round. Should be a clean up again from Big. Massive controls into the immediate control. 2 players on B side backing off at the face of Xantares. They're stacking, and they'll realize that there's nobody out here towards this site, so Big can just walk straight in for this one. Not much resistance that Spirit can throw up here. There's no upgraded weapons. Again, as you mentioned, just that Zeus for Sunday Young. It could, on paper, catch off one player if they start to overextend towards the mid control, but they're stacking up to the mid position of their own right, and Big, well, they have an AK back here for Keto, ready to receive them coming in from Connected. The bomb plant's been secured, uncontested, unchallenged. One player seen, tap first through. Keto will deal with 2. Damage done towards him, they'll need some backup. He wants to stay alive. CSN there with the AWP supports it. Dropper does take down Keto. Dropping straight in, but can't grab the AK, so no major pickup there for the Spirit side. 14-8, eco done. Now here come the guns.
Yeah, that was a decent attempt, actually, from Spirit. We saw a couple of players flying forward to have a couple of baits. Like, they get a kill, but they don't recover a weapon, so yeah, it doesn't really make a big difference. Big, though, do start to swing a couple in a row, and then, look, that was a good place coming out for Xantares. Whether it's an eco or not, getting that slow walk out from Monster and clearing out the bomb site just means you're not running into the stack. That's the last thing you want to do. So 8 on the board now for the Germans. Only a 6-round deficit. A Spirit going into the next following gun round, they don't actually have really too much to work with in terms of the utility basis, right? You've got the AWP from Dexter. He's actually glass cannon, no kit, and, well, all the utility that they had, they've already used a fair bit of it. There's not a lot left.
A couple of smokes flashing incendiary. Tabson sprays through, nades up from Tabson. Catching on Chopper, but not doing a mass amount of damage. He can stay in play, stay absolutely fine for his side. Mir has started to regress here towards short, though. Can he catch up one of the T-side players? Yes, he can. Tizian not expecting him to be so far forward, so that's a start for the Spirit side.
Oh, Xantares and Tabson, though. At least Xantares is working by himself, pretty much solo, being the only player to be a slow walk out from Monster. Now, he's going to clear out the bomb site. I don't know if he would have heard those information from the footsteps from Chopper, who's getting behind him. This is a very interesting position from Big, because they've got the A site open, but they've also got the B site open. Rotates coming through from Dexter. That scope may have been heard from the player up close towards APC from Keto.
Molotov set onto the A site. Bomb plant will be secured here. 3-on-2 retake. Spirit do not have any kits at all. Smokes down, Molly's in. Going to try and stall for extra time here for Big. All 3 CTs coming in from the CT side of the map. Chopper rotating up from the B site via the stairs right now. 2 players up in bank will start to stack up together, make their ways in. Running short on time, about 20 seconds left for this defuse. And again, going to stick 10 of those seconds on the defuse itself. And he smokes to go down for the Ninja. Well, they'll try for it now. 1 player crossing. Flash over from Searson. Are they on the bomb? No, they're not. The spray still comes through. Player on top. Dealt with by Keto. Fantastic 3K sequence. And it will be a 9th to the board of the T side.
Look, they had the advantage in terms of how many players were still alive, but with no kit and very little utility, they at least get a smoke down onto the bomb, but it's just a straight spam coming through from Big. Lovely 3K coming out from Keto. And they just kind of all line up and peek individually for him. A Spirit now taking their second tactical pause, and I think this is where you kind of draw the line to go, okay, we're getting a bit nervous now. We've had this game under our wraps for pretty much the entire map. We've now had a few rounds in a row go the way of Big, and it's starting to look pretty scary. 4 in a row now up for the Germans. Money just isn't there, so it's going to have to be another eco. Big looking to get to double digits. Spirit just need to close. They just need that one confident round to get to 15, and I think that's where they'll have it to take the map.
Only require 2, and doesn't have to be 2 good ones either, just 2 rounds in general.
Yeah.
This one might not be said round. I mean, we've seen how the upgrade pistols can work for Spirit in the past, especially during the course of the day and during this series as well, most definitely. Seeing the smokes, the Molotovs, the flashes going over towards the default positions here on the CT and T side basis. Spirit heavy stacking towards the B site once again. A couple of players, well, just one player here in the connector control, seeing nothing of Big. They've all made their way out towards long, so they've avoided most of the main entry positions for Spirit.
Yeah, Big have actually done a pretty decent job, I want to say, in the second half of not running into those stacks. We certainly saw that Spirit were running into quite a few of theirs in the first half. A bit of a lean over towards B. SDY just trying to see if he can get some info into connector, but it's been very silent here for Big, not making too many footsteps around bathrooms either. Trying to crunch in towards this site. Chopper's going to be the only player on A.
Mapping over towards the bank position. Some Young's ready to close in the pincers on the backstab, but the main concern is going to be whether or not the firepower is there to deal with them. Keto takes some damage. And Big wait and wonder. Spirit, how are they going to approach this? Do they even want to approach this? I mean, they've got Kevlar. Might be worth it to save that. Magix might look for an exit frag on a player towards the default plant position. That would be a nade on Tabson, who's actually avoided it entirely though, so yeah, no chance of this one. This will be a 10 for the Big side. I'm surprised Spirit didn't try and go full frontal in towards that site, but I guess again, maybe the Kevlar's more worth it for the CT line. Either way, the money should stack up to a buy here, so we should be seeing M4s out once again.
No, I'm with you 100% there. I thought that really just trying to look for some exits. I mean, even a chance, maybe not to, so much to do damage to the economy, but have a chance of getting a trade and then holding an AK going forward. But look, anyway, they do opt to go for the save. They don't want to try and maybe risk the Kevlar like you mentioned. 10 rounds, though, up for Big. A Spirit. Haven't quite seen another tactical from them. We've already seen 2 from them. Monster Smoke coming down, 3 players leaning over towards the B side to start off. A little bit of early util to stop any applied pressure coming through from Playground. Fast play comes in towards Construction, though, from Tizian, going very fast in the underpass position, opening up the door. This could be a bit of a quicker play out towards the B side.
Set it up pretty well enough. Chop with an incendiary at the ready to try and shut down the short control, or is he going to put it up here? Yeah, down in this position, going to throw the T-side players off. We'll hear the tags. Tizian down to 39 with his entries. And Zentaris, again, out of the gates, going to get that opening kill. Mir can trade it on Keto, though, so that's a 4 versus 4. No further frags to be found. It's carefully placed here by the Spirit side, and they're able to trade evenly so far.
It seems like Big start to slow it down now, and we see that initial contact. Great start from Zentaris. I think he was just spamming through that Monster Smoke that found that first pick. Unfortunately, it was Mir on the boost to find the trade, and he's now got another one, Jay. 2 kills the round up for Mir, and on this stack over towards B, at least in the mid-round, has worked out very nicely from Spirit. Big sort of struggling to get the advantage back in their favor now.
40 seconds to try and do so. 4-on-3 situation again to the favor of Spirit, and time is ticking away. They're slowly making their way into mid-control. That bomb on the back of Tabson with the AK, AWP assist, and play the back lines. The Molotovs come in towards the back of truck. With the player playing on long, a player playing at bank. avoided by this utility. Good flash in, blinds off one. Still Young swings for two, trying to make it a triple sequence, and that's exactly what he does. There it is, at long last map point for Spirit. Big on the comeback, could be shut down. It's 5 rounds to the overtime.
It only took a little while, didn't it? Good holes coming out from the A-side anchors too, and even just that distraction being pulled away from Chopper, falling back from Bank, allows SDY to really get involved with 3 kills in the back of default with the AUG. And for Big, it was even them to get the advantage in the round of that 5-on-4, but it was me, really, I think, as the main element for Spirit to turn that back in their favor. 5 more rounds for Big to try and get to overtime. And I don't think, Jay, certainly not on the B stream, but I don't think on the A or C stream either we've seen an overtime today. Are getting close to if Big can continue their momentum.
One player's real close, Young here to the bathrooms. No T-side contact from Big when to go to this position. They're playing outside of it, firing through the smokes, trying to find someone in the gap. But how passive these defaults have been. No team taking contact in the first minute.
Yeah, it's been slow, it's been silent. You can see the AWP trying to look in towards the fighter. Dexter fires away and even re-peeks back into it. Sirison ready for that exchange, but they need to still clear out both players towards A. A Chopper and a player of SDY that's hearing a lot of footsteps.
He's getting all the information he needs. Chopper's back drop towards long. Now the backstab strikes. 2 players seen, he's choked it. Young will die last here for the A-side defense. Mir will fall on rotate, and Magic's left alone. Oh, that's tragic. The positioning was there and all. It's just that aim, that crosshair placement, the panic and the pressure getting to the Spirit individual. And that's an 11th for Big, a very vital survival round, because other than that, Spirit held the defense. Chopper was basically clinical on the anchor. And you must imagine just a couple of small mistakes from Spirit. If they had just adjusted for those, if they had counteracted them, then maybe this could have been a round for them. Maybe we could have been done here.
Yeah, look, you're right. I think there were just too many mistakes. Like, first of all, just re-peeking back into the AWP. At least Magic should be able to hold on to this AK. There could be another swing coming through from Sirison. Oh, he just holds on to it. But it all sort of really started off with that AWP of Sirison just waiting for the re-peek, and then a big whiff from SDY. He heard so many footsteps, saw so many people, Jay, but didn't really see the kills, unfortunately.
Again, for him, that's going to be frustrating, just knowing that, yeah, you had all the power of the round in your hands and you fluffed it. Not good at all here for Spirit. Counting for the 4-man boost once again here on the Big side. They have the AWP watching from heaven, looking down to that position. It's going to be Young with the opening kill. CSGO can get close with the AWP and trade it, so now they know that it's definitely not going to be in play. That's the mid defaults we go for the Big side. 1-for-1 trade.
A bit of an aggressive approach coming through. It looks like Spirit want to try and take the short water control, and well, they will be certainly granted that area of the map. No real pressure coming in. 3 players is a bit of a crossfire. What do they do with it, though? Do they aggress back out to Connector? Maybe go over to Monster. Jump Heat might come through for the AWP to find the connection from Sirison. Boost coming through gets him a bit of an angle into Con, but it's really going to have to be up towards the A side. Chopper's got to rotate to help out his teammate.
Yeah, these 2 players on the short control looking into Connector, and from Monster will basically siphon off the main entrances to the B site. They know that no one's in Monster right now, so Chopper and Dexter will be the main concern of the defense. M4 AWP, and Dexter finds his first and his second. Peek back in on the 3rd. No, Chopper's there to come in from the side, swipe him out of position, and now Searson left alone to Fulton here on the backstab. 16-11 to Spirit. They've got map 1 of the series.